It's the last week in October, which means it's time to finish off the last of the fall garden and get prepping for our spring garden. One of our favorite aspects of prepping your spring garden in the fall is that you get to plant certain things like fall bulbs, which is what garlic is. We planted these garlic last fall. We harvested them in late spring, early summer this year, and they were prolific, and we've had wonderful garlic and still have tons to get us through the winter. So we're taking these garlic bulbs, some of the best that we have on our shelf, and we are going to break them apart and plant them for next year's garlic harvest. So this area in our garden is getting tilled up today so that it is ready to plant these garlic bulbs. So once we have kind of hoed the rows, we need to break apart these heads of garlic. Now, each head of garlic has multiple cloves on it, and if you've ever cooked with garlic, you know that. We're actually separating these cloves, but we're leaving the paper on the cloves. The paper is going to help protect it from rotting in the soil. And then we are putting each clove into these rows about 6 to 8 inches apart. You could go up to 12 inches apart depending on the space that you have, but about 6 to 8 inches apart with the paper on them in these rows. You're going to get a ton of garlic, and we'll link the video to the difference between hard and soft neck garlic so that you kind of have that information. Once the garlic's in the ground, you're going to mound them up with about 4 inches of soil, and that's it. It's really that simple.
I am out here in the garden this morning. Today we are going to try and check on our potatoes and see if they're ready to harvest. Typically they've already flowered and their plants are starting to die, but you can kind of see behind me here, all of this here is grass. So our potato plants are kind of hiding in this long grass that got into our garden this year that we've been kind of fighting. We're not sure if it's from our irrigation water or if it's some seed we accidentally brought in with some of our plants that we planted. We're not really sure, but half of the garden, so this half here, has basically gone to seed, grass seed. Whereas the other half behind me, no grass at all. It's very strange. But we're going to see if we can find our potatoes this morning and see if they are ready to harvest.
Still have a little bit up here. We got most of these in here. So there's maybe another couple pounds of potatoes out there.
So we cleaned up most of the potato area here. We've been lucky. We got about a 5-gallon bucket of potatoes. Mostly we got red potatoes this year. We do have some russets in there, but we did plant more red potatoes, but it's always kind of a surprise what we get. So now what we're going to do to store these potatoes for the winter, some years I have just rubbed them off with my hands to get the dirt off. This year I am going to rinse them off in some water. We have some space in our refrigerator outside. So washing them does take off kind of that protective layer that most vegetables have. But putting them right into the fridge and having kind of a consistent cold temperature is really going to help. So we're just rinsing these off, getting kind of some mucky water, and then we're going to put in this basket here. This is actually a basket I got a couple of years ago from some of the bulbs that I ordered, fall bulbs, to kind of keep air circulation. So it's really nice for these potatoes to store. And then we will place them in the sun or in a really nice dry area to dry for a couple of hours before we place them in the refrigerator. We want to make sure that they do dry off. You don't want to put them in the refrigerator wet or else they can still rot. So, they can be in direct sun for a little bit. You don't want them in too long or they will start turning green. So get them in the fridge and you'll be good to go. Now that the garden is pretty much done and the garlic is planted, there's always a few last minute chores to do with the extra time during the day. Today we're taking the dried onions that we harvested at the end of July, early August, and we are getting those prepped and put in baskets so that we can put them into our pantry. That way we have easy access over the next couple of months. These have had several months to dry and cure, and they are looking great. So they are perfect to bring into the house to use this winter. We hope that our homestead inspires you. Let us know if you have any comments or questions, and we'll see you in the next video.